Chapter 11. Saphira. My body aches by the time we reach camp, but I'm growing accustomed to the exhaustion. It would be fair to say that I might even be growing to love the physical exercise. But what I'm looking forward to most is what happens when the mender teaches me more magic. My soul comes alive when I conjure spells, and for a few hours every day, I am powerful. Oz sits quietly under a thick maple tree, munching on an apple Liam tossed to him. The bard's fiery red hair is now wrapped in a low bun that I showed him how to make, but a few strands have fallen out. I'm not fond of having an audience while I fumble around with magic, but at least he's not commenting on my form like Liam, who consistently pushes me to my limit. Let's expand on the shielding we already established, he says as he circles me once again. It takes me a few seconds to pull the shield up and fortify it around my body. He tosses a dagger in my direction, and it falls to the ground as I expect it to. He examines my work and gives a nod of approval. Now, do it without the incantation. What do you mean without the incantation? That's how I tell the power what I want it to do. This is a common misconception amongst younger mages and menders. The incantation is a way for us to give the energy direction, but once your body is familiar with the instructions, you can do it without the words. I raise an eyebrow at his request. Give it a try. Pull your power from your Amorite, but instead of chanting the incantation, recreate the feeling you had in your body. The Amorite stone heats my body and power flows endlessly. I visualize the sensation of the shielding incantation, but nothing happens. I open my eyes to see Liam staring at me with his chin in his hand, examining my failure. It's not working. Okay, he says. Try again. Don't say the incantation, embody it. Easier said than done, I drawl. I close my eyes once more and attempt to give the power instructions without murmuring the words. Energy is surging inside of me, looking for a place to go, but the shield doesn't appear. Do I have to know how to do this? I throw my hands at my sides. He looks at his feet and replies, Fine, we can do something else. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Power overtakes my body at his reply, and I begin to shake. The energy that surges through my veins begs to have an outlet, so I tell it to become a shield. When I open my eyes, Liam is smiling and nodding. He unsheathes the sword at his side and aims it in my direction. My shield holds fast, and the sword spins off, hilt over tip. What kind of mind games is he playing? His blond ways frame the boyish grin that he's attempting to erase off of his face. Okay, good, he states, retrieving his sword. Now that we have established you can do that, let's try shielding someone else. What do you mean? Instead of using your power to shield your own body, use it to create a shield around the bard. He motions to the boy under the tree. Oz immediately sits up and squeaks, What? You can't be serious. I can accept taking a sword to my side if the shield fails, but I won't put another person in danger. I cross my arms, as if I really have a say in what we do here. When we encounter a mage or some other magical creature in the forest of Moran, how are you going to protect me if you can't shield anyone else besides yourself? He has a good point. I consider his reasoning for a few moments and conclude that he is right. Repeat the embodiment of the incantation, but this time, throw it over the bard. Do you remember how you threw the narcoleptic spell at those squirrels? It's the same idea. You can do this, he says with great confidence. My heart is racing in my chest, so I close my eyes and imagine the redwood forest again. Breathe in, breathe out. one foot in front of the other. Heat rises from my palms as I imagine the shield again. It begins forming around my body, and as soon as it is complete, I let the floodgates of energy open and throw it around Oz. Liam cocks his arm and throws the sword with impressive accuracy. Oz shouts and covers his head with his hands. I use every ounce of energy I have to hold the shield steady. To my amazement, the tip of the sword bounces off of it with a loud thud. My hands drop to my sides, and the energy subsides inside my body. I nearly fall to my hands and knees by the depletion of power from my stone. Oz is yelling explicatives, but all I can do is stare at Liam's face. He is wearing a look of satisfaction as he retrieves his sword. He saunters over to where I stand, leans in, and whispers, "Again." We continue like this for another hour, practicing shielding Oz, Liam, and even Lise. Oz's temperament turned panicky when a dagger was pointed at the mare, but I proved that the shields I created could hold over a large animal. Liam concludes our session and exits camp to search for herbs for his potions, leaving me to guard Oz. I sort through our bags to ration the bread, apples, and smoked meat that we have left. It's enough to fill our bellies tonight, but will not leave us with much for our journey tomorrow. As I stare at the food, Oz clears his throat. "M'lady? Do you think we could do away with the rope around my hands? It's terribly itchy." He lifts his wrists in the air for me to see. I give him a skeptical look. "Keeping me tied up like this is illogical," he tries to explain. "How so?" "You're a mage. I've been known to make idiotic decisions, but even I know it would be a poor decision to try to outrun magic." His logic is sound, though I'm not sure I could bring myself to unleash my unpredictable spells on him. "All right, come here." I motion him with my hand. He pushes himself to his feet, and I untie the rope that has held his hands together for the past 24 hours. He rubs his wrists for a few moments, and then begins stalking into the weeds nearby. "And where do you think you are off to?" I try to sound intimidating, as I really can't risk losing him. He knows too much about our whereabouts, and I'd rather not have a band of soldiers searching for us like they did for the mage in the tavern. He turns and points to Liam's bag of food. "That," he emphasizes, "is not enough for all of us. I'm going to go find more food." "More food? How do you plan on hunting without any weapons?" "You are a charming bard, but I don't think you'll be swooning any rabbits," I respond, stalking after him. "Who said anything about hunting? These grasslands have been my home for my entire life. There is more to eat here than just rabbits." He acts as though I am the idiotic one now. "If you wish to accompany m'lady, I'd be happy to show you how to forage." His offer is tempting, and it would please Liam if we obtained more food for the journey tomorrow. Hesitantly, I follow the bard into the knee-high grasses with my bag and dagger in tow. As the sun has nearly set, I procure a mage light to help us navigate. We walk a mere 50 paces before Oz squats and begins digging in the rich soil below. He pulls out a few small white bulbs from the earth and hands them to me to place in our bag. "What is it?" I ask, turning it over in my palm. "Well, these are wild onions. Have you never eaten wild onions, m'lady?" "I have eaten onions, but not ones like this. And please, call me Saphira." "Very well, Saphira. If you look to your left, we have some nettle," he states. I stare down at the weeds near my feet and see nothing but thistles. My hand reaches to pull the plant out, but Oz clucks his tongue in protest. He walks over to my side and places his hand out, as if he wishes to use my dagger. You saved my life, remember? I'm not going to hurt you. His blue eyes glint under the mage light above our heads. When I hand him the dagger, he begins slicing the leaves from the spiky plant and collecting them in his hands. He gathers 2 handfuls and places them in our bag with the wild onions. Stinging nettle, he states, is full of nutrition and can be brewed into a tea or soup. But when you touch the thistles on the stalk, your skin will break out in a nasty rash. How do you know all of this? I question. He begins walking and occasionally bends down to examine a plant or weed. My family owns a farm outside of Mur, about a 3-day ride from here. My brothers helped my mom and dad with the crops when they were young, but my disability prevented me from doing any physical labor. I was told to help my mother with the cooking and household chores, but I always wanted to be out in the field with the other men. When my chores were finished for the day, I would venture out into the grasslands and forage for whatever food I could find. It was satisfying to return home with a bundle of dandelions or garlic that my mother and I could add to our stew. It felt like I was contributing for once. He pauses to cut something below with a dagger. Here, he hands me a bunch of asparagus. Will they come looking for you? Your family? His eyes turn downcast and his voice quiets. I doubt that. They haven't come looking for me in 9 years. What do you mean? He continues to cut asparagus. I didn't feel like I was important to the family, with my disability and all, so I left. I spent 3 days wandering the fields outside our home, and no one came. He pauses and hands me another bunch. It was all the confirmation I needed. His lips purse. You are only a child, I say softly. Sometimes I still feel like a child, he replies. A traveling troupe of performers found me on the road a few days later. They taught me how to play and sing, and it's all I've been doing since. Oz stares at his hands and then flashes a giant smile. His fiery red hair shines under the moonlight. Music makes me feel alive. A smile spread across my face at his reply. We return to camp with Oz's findings and make a small fire to roast the asparagus and onions. Oz brews some tea by boiling water in my canteen and adding crushed nettle leaves. Liam returns within the hour and waits outside my transfiguration, staring blankly ahead. When he enters, he is shocked to find us sitting by the fire enjoying food and drink. What is he doing? He whispers in my ear as he crosses the magical threshold that keeps us hidden. Liam! Oz waves him over to the fire. We've got roasted vegetables and tea for dinner. Would you like some? He says with a mouthful. Though we are the same height, Liam gives me a look that makes me feel quite small. Next time, please discuss cutting our prisoner free before you do it the moment I leave you alone. He chides as he walks past me. I think we should take him with us, I state bravely. He stops in his tracks. What use is he to us? We are not going to sing our way through Moran. The bard stays. He can forage, and we need help finding food. We don't need help with anything. His voice is eerily calm. He's just a kid, Liam. Which is exactly why he's not coming with us, he states plainly. He sets down his bag and scans the trees in the distance. His eyes roam back and forth, searching for whatever lingers in the darkness. Oz sets down his food, and everything falls quiet. What is it? I whisper to Liam, my heart beating rapidly in my chest. His gray eyes squint into the darkness. I sense someone's magic nearby. His voice lowers. Not yours, something darker, but only a wisp. His body tenses and then relaxes. You can sense it? How? I ask quietly. His eyes stop searching and find mine. Only the most powerful of us can do it, he replies. But I do not sense arrogance. He simply tells the truth. We must be careful. Someone bearing a stone may be nearby. As his eyes bore into mine, I nod in agreement and seal the spell that conceals us. He turns away and finds a seat next to Oz, reaching for the vegetables and tea. My hopes for the bard fade, and a wave of guilt churns in my stomach for acting without Liam's permission. Would you like some more tea, Saphira? Oz smiles and offers the canteen. No, thank you, I reply as I find my way to my bed of grass and lie on my side. My back is facing the mender, but I can feel his eyes on me. I can't decide whether I should be worried or guilt-ridden, but I let sleep take me before I decide.